Welcome to Beyond Love and Light podcast, where we bypass the fluff, lift the veil, and explore how to navigate the human experience as a spiritual being. I am Laura Gevanter, a transformation coach, PSYCH-K and emotion code facilitator. Join me as we delve into topics relating to human consciousness, alternative healing modalities, quantum physics, and the psychology of spirituality. I bring you insights and information from amazing guests and my own experience and observations. Please remember to subscribe to get notifications. And if you'd like to know more about me and my work, please go to my website, www.lauragevanter.com. So let's get on with the podcast. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Beyond Love and Light podcast. I am your host, Laura Gevanter, and this is my first kind of official welcome video. I've done some interviews and you'll see some other little short videos on there, but I did want to make an introductory video and just tell you a little bit about who I am, why I'm doing this podcast, and why I would love to have you subscribe and join me. So, as I said, my name is Laura Gevanter, and I am a subconscious specialist, which means that I do work with the subconscious mind. I created a method called the S.E.T Subconscious Energy Transformation, which is a combination of intuitive coaching. I am a certified life coach, intuitive coaching, PSYCH-K, emotion code, and body code. And it's just kind of packaged into one really beautiful, very effective method to help people transform. And the way that I got into this work was it actually found me. It wasn't something that I was looking for. It kind of found me as I was more than just very intuitive at a very young age. I had a knowing. I had an inner knowing, which is called claircognizant, which is a very strong, visceral feeling of knowing certain information without ever being taught, told, never heard it elsewhere. It was just an internal knowing that I had that was kind of extraordinary from a very, very young age. And it goes beyond intuition, which is kind of more of a situational decision making, kind of gearing you towards a certain way. This was just a knowing about certain things. And I didn't really know what to do with it. It was just part of who I was. Now, at the same time, as I got a little older, people were telling me, you should be a therapist. You're so good at this. You get to the root of things. You have so much clarity. And while that was true, I was able to see things that a lot of other people weren't able to see. It wasn't something that I felt really drawn to. And it wasn't until much later on that I understood why. And the idea of being a therapist and having people come in and talk about their problems and their challenges and their childhood and why they couldn't do what, the things that they wanted in life and dwell on that, just keep talking about it, never appealed to me. And I didn't really understand why until I started doing the training that I did, which is you must engage the subconscious mind for any real lasting, effective change. Most psychotherapy is just working with the conscious mind, which we're only in about 5% of the time. So while it may feel very therapeutic and it may feel that you're being heard many times for the first time in people's lives, they're heard and they're maybe getting some really interesting feedback. The change that they're experiencing is probably short-lived, temporary, and doesn't really create the kind of transformation that they're looking for. So I kind of had an intuitive knowing that that wasn't it, but at the same time, didn't really know what the work I was supposed to be doing looked like. And it wasn't until many, many years later when I had a whole other career before that I got into this work, got into coaching, got my certification, and then slowly discovered these other methodologies, which just clicked, was able to use my insight along with these modalities that I trained in that enabled me to specialize with the subconscious. So that's a little bit about my background and the work that I do with clients, both in person and remote. But my reason for doing the podcast is, well, I did have a podcast. A number of years ago, I had a podcast on Blog Talk Radio, which was before everyone had a podcast, and it was just audio. And I did interview a lot of really, really incredible people, such as Dr. Bruce Lipton, Joe Dispenza. You actually will see those interviews on my YouTube channel that I did upload because they're timeless, and these are two extraordinary men that I was very privileged to interview, and lots of other people as well. I did over 150, I think 150-ish interviews over 3 years, which is quite a bit in that short period of time. And I decided to take a break from that. And then I wanted to relaunch this podcast, doing more YouTube videos and just have more of my own sharing rather than having predominantly interviews. I will be doing both. As you'll see, I've already had a couple of interviews, which I've posted. So I will be kind of dispersing interviews as well as my own uploaded videos. And the title, Beyond Love and Light, is, everything is love and light these days. Everything is just this sort of like fluffy kind of faux, I call it like the faux spiritual movement out there, which is just so prevalent. And to me, it's just a lot of it is just a bunch of BS. And it's a lot of just talking about concepts, but doesn't really get to the meat of stuff. And to me, what's behind the veil? What's beyond love and light? What is just beyond namaste, everybody? And my fascination with quantum physics, my fascination with spirituality and multi-dimensionality of human beings and beyond, and just the unseen. What is the energy? What is the field? That there's so much more than meets the eye. That's always been my fascination for very, very long time. So I thought it would be fun to talk about these concepts. A lot of it does relate to the work that I do, since the modalities that I use are actually quantum physics in practice, because we do work with the field. I work with um, people remotely, which means that I am doing muscle testing on myself for my clients, which is tapping into the field. It's tapping into higher levels of consciousness. So, Beyond Love and Light is really about really exploring different levels of spirituality and human consciousness and beyond, and just inviting the conversation and inviting you to be part of this. So that's kind of it in a nutshell, what I'm about, what this podcast is about. I would love for you to subscribe. I would love for you to like this video. Please share it if you're inclined. And if you have any suggestions about topics you would want me to talk about, anything to do with from the subconscious mind to transformation to spirituality, quantum physics, and beyond, I am happy to address it and would love to in future episodes. So, this was just my little introduction, and I hope to see you in further videos. So, stay tuned. And if you want to check out more about my work, please check out my website. It's lauragevanter.com. I'm also on TikTok. I am on Instagram and Facebook. So you can also check out the content that I post there as well. Take care, everyone.